Going on, you guys? Rex the Rebel here. Going to talk about the Joe Biden union worker situation because it's blown up. It's going over all social media. Progressives talking about it, conservatives talking about it, giving their opinions. Everyone seems unanimous that it's terrible that Biden called his union worker a full of shit, and that he shushed his female employee, his female aide. I'm here to give my short opinion on that. I don't really have much to say other than uh, very few, very strongly opinionated things about the situation, which is I don't care that he shushed his aide. I don't. And I don't know why anyone else cares. Actually, I do know why they care. It's because she's a woman. That's the only reason why. If she was a guy, no one would give a shit, okay? But she's a female, and you can't shush females. That's sexist. Look, here's the deal, all right? I am more bothered by the double standard. Whereas if Donald or Bernie or anyone else did that to her, they'd get all mad and they'd be like, sexism, but he does it and the media doesn't say that. That's my only issue. The problem is it's not sexism regardless of who does it. Telling your aide to shush is not sexist, okay? And the only reason why we're talking about this is because she's female. She was trying to shush him because he was speaking to someone and she realized that it wasn't going well because, hello, he's Joe Biden. He's status quo Joe. I don't understand why you allow him out in public to speak to people if you're immediately going to shut him down from speaking because you realize that he cannot speak to people. He can't. He's an idiot. He's got dementia, people. He does, okay? If you see videos from him a few years ago, even 4 years ago, he sounds competent, coherent, but today he's all over the place. He's not mentally sound. His cognitive decline is deteriorating rapidly. And it's funny because usually we talk about Trump's cognitive decline. Biden's is worse. But people say that it's a stutter. It's not a stutter. He's got dementia, okay? He's got cognitive decline. That's not to say that we should shame him for that, but it is to say, look, here's this other person who's his age, Bernie, who doesn't have cognitive decline and who's got way better policies and a way better record. Bernie, we failed Bernie. Young people failed Bernie. We did. Okay? And I understand that there's a lot of young people who couldn't go out and vote for him because they were at work, right? And so you can't take 7 hours off, which is essentially a whole day, to vote when you got to work. I understand that. But for the young people that could vote and didn't, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Don't give me the whole, oh, well, my vote doesn't matter. Normally, I would agree with the whole idea of, hey, I didn't vote, you can't blame me. The system's rigged anyway. That only works when you're dealing with a lesser of two evils scenario, right? Because usually that's what we're having to deal with, is a lesser of two evils. We didn't deal with that this go around or last go around. We have Bernie. We have a hero, and we have a villain. Biden is the villain. Bernie is the hero. It's clear who is right, who is good, and who is bad, who's the enemy. The problem is, while Biden might be a villain, he's going to go up against Trump if he gets nominated and get dominated. Biden might be the villain, but by nominating him, he's going up against a supervillain who will trounce him. He will molest him on TV, okay? He will make Joe cry. There's no contesting that. Biden will get obliterated. And I don't see how people don't recognize that. That said, what we also need to recognize is that in the situation between Biden and the union worker, Biden might have been an idiot and he might have not communicated well with this man. But the union worker is full of shit. No one's coming for your guns, man. Okay? And if you're afraid that someone's going to come for your guns, you must not be a very competent or very good gun owner. If you're so afraid that your guns are going to get taken away from you, why? What is your ulterior motive? Seriously, for the people who genuinely think that their guns are going to get taken away, why is that? You must not be a very good law-abiding citizen then, because that's their argument. Law-abiding citizens are going to lose their guns. If you're a law-abiding citizen, why are you afraid of losing your gun? This guy is full of shit. Just because he's a union worker doesn't make him infallible. It doesn't make him better than me or you or even Joe Biden. You don't need an AR-15, which Joe Biden incorrectly called an AR-14. I swear, Joe, such an idiot. But so is everyone else. David Pakman, Jimmy Dore. People are talking about, oh, you know, this union worker brought up a good point. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He's just your typical gun nut who has the same stupid Second Amendment arguments that you hear from these types of people that usually progressives and liberals and leftists trash and make fun of all the time. The only reason we're defending this guy is because he was in a union and because he was going up against Joe Biden. So apparently people hate Joe Biden more than they hate the right-wing gun lover people. I don't, in the sense that I look at things objectively. I don't care if Joe Biden's going up against a union worker. Okay? We have to look at the individual circumstance of the situation, and that circumstance was that you have someone, a union worker, who is full of shit, and you also have Joe Biden, who isn't full of anything because there's nothing going on in there. He's not full of anything. His mind is completely... But yes, the union worker is full of shit, okay? Your gun's not going to get taken away, man. Unless you are suspected of committing a crime, it's not going to get taken away. This dude cares more about his stupid toys than he does about the necessary regulations that need to be taken into account to ensure human life is respected. Okay? This guy doesn't care about gun control, about gun regulation, about making sure that everyone has a background check. This guy does not care. He was on Fox News, okay, talking about the situation. The guy doesn't care. He's just your typical gun nut who loves his toys more than the need and the necessity for gun control. And everyone supports gun control, by the way. It's just what level of it, right? But no, you don't need an AR-15. If you want to use an AR-15, you know what you can do? You can go to the gun range. You can rent an AR-15. You can use it and then turn it in at the end and then go home. If you want a gun for protection, you can get a handgun if you pass requirements and tests. And if you want to hunt, you can have that as well. I don't know too many people who are hunting with an AR-15. And if you are hunting with an AR-15, fuck you, man. Why? Not too many hunters respect that, I imagine. So, that's pretty much all I got to say, is people taking the side of the union worker and acting like the union worker is like this victim that we need to protect. And it's like, look, he may be part of a union, but he's also a Trump supporter. You are a union worker, okay, a member of a union who is hating on socialism. You're part of a union! And yet you're hating on socialism? Really? How? Yes, he's full of shit, okay? He is your gun-loving fucking idiot who doesn't care about the necessary regulations that need to be in place to protect human life. And he's in a union and is proud of being in a union, and yet he trashes socialism. That doesn't make any sense. It's because of socialism that unions are so popular and that they've been so popular. That's like unions and socialism are like inseparable. You cannot hate socialism but also love being in a union. This guy is full of shit, okay? That's all I'm saying. He is full of shit. So I agree with Joe Biden on that. But obviously, you know, people are going to take the side of the union worker for political reasons over Joe Biden, even though in this particular instance, Biden happens to be somewhat correct. He's still an idiot, but the union worker isn't. He's an idiot too. So, peace the fuck out.